Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Slay the Princess. Okay, so on today's episode, we're continuing to explore the idea of these emerging mental states and kind of why they take shape using psychological theory to explain why we are making the decisions that we're making and why we are getting the outcomes that we're getting. I'll be honest, I don't really know how to explain what you're going to see today, but well, I think the video will speak for itself. The only things I've promised so far are analysis and chaos. And so that's what I'll deliver. I hope you enjoy. Hello, and welcome back. All right, here we are again. And we're ready to take another stab at slaying the princess, saving the princess. We're still not sure. So, where are we at now? We tried being the hero. Sort of. I'm going to return to some of the decisions that I made in the first episode because I've been thinking about them and I'm not sure that we were actually acting with as much virtue as a typical hero might, which is probably why we ended up with such a skeptical outlook the second time. But we tried that. We tried like going sort of half-hearted at saving the princess, and it did not end well. It sort of resisted the narrator's desires. And then we ended up being quite skeptical, specifically of the narrator, but of, well, the scenario itself, because we felt like our freedom of choice was slipping away. So the way I tend to play these games is I kind of role play them, right? I sort of put myself in the headspace of like the character I'm playing has seen this as the perspective of the hero and then developed skepticism and saw that that didn't really work. So like, where does that leave us? Like, where do we go after feeling like, okay, well, doing the right thing didn't work. Trying to outsmart the game didn't work. Why don't we just try doing exactly what it says? Like, the game's called Slay the Princess. We haven't really tried to do that. I'm kind of curious what would happen if we just fucking like committed to that, right? Like we just went full acceptance mode, which I think would be this, right? Just, okay, I guess we'll just go to the cabin. Let's just see what happens.
You make your way up.
Let's skip through some of this dialogue that we've seen before. Let's go to the cabin. There's the blade. Take the blade. I'll always take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
It still gets me the way the music drops out. Somehow makes it more intense. Now we go into the basement. I'm fully committed to this. I will not be persuaded by any sort of web of honeyed lies from the narrator or from the princess. I won't be persuaded. I'll just do exactly what I want.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the...
I won't say anything. Just fully committed to this.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
I'm not listening to you. Are you there? Are you here to kill me or something? There's no reason for us to talk this through, Princess. I'm here to carry out, I guess, the only mission that I can. I mean, like, I'm starting to feel like maybe my choices don't matter that much. Unless this is like some reverse psychology stuff and making the choice the game wants me to make is the real defiance. Because maybe it expects me to be defiant. No, we're not thinking this through. We're just committing to a singular act. I'll steel my nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Resolve is steeled.
Oh, no talking then?
No talking.
Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
I know this isn't very therapist-like. This is more like psychopath. Like I said, we're exploring. very neutrally what sort of outcome we get, right? Because at the end of this, I know that I'm going to end up on the path in the forest, and I'm going to have the same fucking mission that I had at the beginning of this. So I'm sort of like doing some reality testing here, right? This actually is kind of a therapeutic method. When someone feels like they've been trying something and they're not getting a different outcome, we might do some like cognitive restructuring or some reality testing. Just some sort of like what if scenarios, like what would happen if you just, did the thing that you were so sure you weren't supposed to do? What would happen? Like, let's just neutrally explore that idea and not make any sort of judgments about what the outcome means, because it's the judgments that prevent us from going to that place and saying, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm not the type of person who would do that. I'm the type of person who would make the right choice. I'm the type of person who would find a way out. Well, look where that got us. The first time got us killed, and the second time got us turning into nothingness. So this is just a little bit of reality testing at the expense of, I guess, the princess, because I'm just gonna go for it.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Reality testing. What would happen if you didn't listen to her persuasion?
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
I would just commit to the act and see what happens.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Okay. As I anticipate doing this, I'm a little concerned about this just working. Like, my decision here is purely based on like the game will try to do something that I don't expect. Like if I just tried to kill her, maybe it won't work. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe something will happen that she doesn't die, or now I'm hesitating. I don't actually want to kill her. I'm just trying. I'm trying to find my personal agency here, which, if nothing else, is just to commit to something that feels like it's possible. I know she isn't bluffing. I'm not dropping the blade. Yeah, fuck it. I guess there's no way that it just lets us kill her, right? That would be quite extreme.
You lunge forward without a moment.
No, wait. Fuck.
You feel
oh my god.
Give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
What have I done?
Oh.
No way.
This is it, isn't it?
Well, what the fuck? At least I better save the world at the end of this. If this is like what the game told me to do and I just commit to it, it better fucking follow through on its promise that I saved the world.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming.
Yeah, I guess I should have seen it too.
Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Kind of not.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
I'm sorry, princess.
But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
Wait, for real? Okay, now I really want to know what happens.
But is it over? Really over?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like she has to have some kind of trick up her sleeve. Like, we cut her hand off and she was fine. I didn't think that this would kill her. What have I done?
It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there.
Shit.
To make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
Yeah, check for a pulse.
I really don't think you should do that.
I don't believe this. This can't be what happens.
And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us?
I feel like I'm just going to develop the skeptic again.
I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
But we cut her hand off and she was fine. Yeah, okay, look. Something is not up here. I'm checking for a pulse.
You lean down and place your hand against her neck, holding your breath as you search for a pulse, even though you know you're not going to find one. We definitely won't if you keep talking. Sorry, do you want her to be alive?
Yes!
You just saved the entire world from annihilation. Why are you suddenly trying to call that into question?
Because I never really wanted to kill her. I just wanted to feel like I was making my own choices. I never really wanted to kill her.
Wait, what was that?
No way.
You know what that was. That was the sound of a heartbeat,
Okay.
followed by another. And another.
I feel some relief, but I'm also kind of concerned now that we just fucking stabbed her and she's probably pissed.
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
No way.
Something sharp digs into your side,
The fuck?
sending your nerves into a pained frenzy. Quick, let's get out of here.
Run.
It's too late.
No way.
You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs.
Oh my god.
As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
Wait. She's still gonna die?
An eye for an eye. A life for a life. I guess we're even now.
Holy shit.
See you around.
Damn it! Why do I never get what I want?
You were so close. Why did you hesitate?
I'm a hesitator.
It doesn't matter. At least you managed to take her with you,
Okay, at least the world is saved, right?
for whatever that's worth. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Great. Chapter 2. The Razor.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. I'm kind of expecting two things to appear now from this, right? Not the skeptic necessarily, but it's clear that, like, our initial, like, jump to go kill her, we could not follow through on at the end. Like, we expected that it wouldn't actually work. Our moral character was still there. We were trying to brutally override it. But at the last second, we hesitated. I'm either sensing that there's going to be like a super disaffected voice that's just like nothing fucking matters, or one that's like highly insecure and doubtful and doesn't know what decision to make, like is really unsure of itself. Let's see. Getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
You keep lying to me like that. Doesn't help your case, narrator.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
This whole thing's a crock of shit. She's just going to pull a knife out of nowhere and stab us again.
Voice of the cheated. That's great.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told us last time. You said this whole thing would be easy, but after we sank our blade into her heart, she just got up and started stabbing us.
Yeah, I do feel cheated. I feel like I fucking did what I was told. And now I got fucking nothing from it.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons, so there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
It doesn't matter that she doesn't have a weapon. She will just stab me with my own weapon. This is worse This is more than deja vu. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened. Yeah. Yeah!
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. Like I said, we've just met for the first time, you and I.
You're to blame for all of this. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? Yeah. Like, what choice do I have?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
It's like the fourth time.
If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
I did listen. I listened to fucking everything already.
Mostly listened to you. You're supposed to know she'd spring back to life.
Yeah.
If she sprung back to life in this hypothetical scenario, then clearly you didn't slay her.
Oh, so what? Now you're saying I just didn't finish the job? Like, do I have to do everything perfectly? I can't just slay her and then walk away? Like, maybe I was just confirming the kill.
But congratulations, you've been given a chance to actually do this right.
I feel like I kind of already did it right and it didn't work.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Well, they didn't.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We stabbed the princess stabbed us, and now everyone's right back to where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Sensible conclusion, hero.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
I don't see why it matters. Either way, I'm here.
Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Screw this. Who cares what happened to everyone else? So we should do what we can to save ourselves and just get out of here.
At least you know not to trust her, but you do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around and leave, you're dooming yourself as well as everyone else.
Yes, I guess so, but again, why does it matter?
We're so close to finishing the job last time. She can't get the jump on us twice. If we're careful, we should be fine.
Fine, I guess I'll fucking follow through.
That's the spirit. Just keep that stiff upper lip, and you'll save the world in no time at all.
Yeah, whatever. Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I feel like everyone is going to lie to me, no matter what I do, so...
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful.
Yeah, I guess we do.
Stay focused and you'll be fine.
We'll just commit this time and not second guess it, right? Right.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Okay, everything is now fucked, and this is the representation of my mind right now. Like, I'm feeling the insecurity of, like, one, none of this seems to matter. Two, what the fuck am I gonna get now?
The blade is your implement.
I don't feel safe with it.
Do this right.
I don't feel safe with the blade. I don't trust myself. This whole cabin is different. The music is scaring me. Fuck it. Let's take the fucking blade.
You take it from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Yes, it would, wouldn't
It's
it?
a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
No, I still don't like that. Go into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall.
How did we get here? I just wanted to go and have a fucking conversation with her. And now this is like the third time that I'm like trying to fucking end her life. I hate this reality.
The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below.
This is so nerve-wracking.
The princess lives here. Slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
I don't want to live here.
That's right, scraping. I told you she has something, I told you.
The voice of the cheated has been burned too many times.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head.
Now it feels like the narrator wants to fucking kill me, and it seems like the princess does too.
Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Fuck this.
Yeah, she thinks she's better. Like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
The voice of the cheated is probably super emotionally unaware. And maybe it's time that we talk about why. Why this voice now?
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room. I wonder if she remembers us.
Wonder.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
Now I'm interested in having a dialogue again.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
The thing is I don't buy the voice of the cheated. It's sort of the advanced level of skepticism, where not only is we can't trust what we're seeing, but it's also highly personalized. Like, it feels specifically cheated by her, by the narrator. And it's dug into a sort of confirmation bias, right? And confirmation bias is, it's a pretty sinister thing that we tend to do as people, which is basically like when I decide that there is a negative quality in someone, not only am I sensitive to it, but I scan for it. Now I'm invested in finding this quality no matter what happens, and I will exclude all evidence that shows otherwise. Like, I'm bought into the idea that she is going to betray us. The narrator is going to lie to us. And I'm so bought into us that that's the only conclusion that I conceivably will see, and then I'll get to say, see, I knew it. And what we tend to do is we collect this privately as ammunition, and sort of keep score with the amount of times, so that when our guard is down, when we feel like, you know, we're in the spotlight, we can unleash this long list of receipts and weaponize it against our partner. Guys, this is how toxic fucking relationships happen. And that's the voice of the cheated. We feel like there is simply no other way to perceive the princess as this dangerous, manipulative character. And so, like, everything that we hear is going to be a lie, basically. But underneath that is still Brady. Like, I'm not this voice. This is just my perception. This is the perception of the cheated. I think that there's a way to talk to her.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
She must be reasoned with. She must be able to be reasoned with.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
I'd like to trust you, but you're being so suspicious right now. Let's see.
That's so rude of you, passing judgments on strangers you've never met just because they're different from you. How would you like it if I did that, huh?
I wouldn't.
Silly little bird face thinks he's so serious coming down here but doesn't know anything. Thinks he can tell me to get rid of all the knives I don't even have while he wave one around right in front of me.
I mean, we are waving around our implement. I guess this makes it clear that we are not a lizard or in fact some sort of avian creature.
I bet you didn't like that, did you? I bet you didn't like being judged for no reason.
No, I didn't actually. Find myself connecting with the princess a little bit more.
I have absolutely zero doubts that she is going to stab us if we get close to her.
That's just because this is the only thing that you're able to see, but look, she's smiling.
She certainly feels threatening.
Just because she's acting like she's going to stab you doesn't mean she has the means to actually do it.
That's true.
But you know who is armed? You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job. But
Okay.
I'm nervous.
I'm so nervous.
All the more reason to jump into the deep end and deal with her right now before you waste any more time getting stuck in your head.
I'm lost in my head. Can we just talk things through? Or let's just put it all out on the table. We killed each other last time. I'd rather not do that again.
But if we killed each other, then why are we here, right now? Both of us normal and unstabbed.
She does have a point.
I do have to hand it to her, that's a very good question, and it's one with a simple answer. You haven't slain her yet. So how about you get moving? There you go again, talking up delusions about a past life experience that clearly didn't happen.
We are aware, though.
It's like the two of you are working together on this. Aren't you listening to her? She's obviously lying through her teeth.
I don't actually think she is. This is not the princess we saw last time. It's actually like a completely different persona than the prisoner. So she doesn't remember us killing each other. Again, she has not actually been misleading.
I'm terrible at spotting lies, and even I can tell something's up here. We can't be the only ones that looped back to the start. Someone else has to remember, right?
Yeah.
Yes, something is obviously up, and we can all tell that she's lying. The thing she's lying about is how dangerous she is, not dimension hopping or time travel or whatever it is you think you're doing.
Can we just talk things through? Please. I am... Talking is my area of comfort. I don't want to use my implement.
But we don't have anything to talk through. We're strangers and this place is cramped and annoying and you should just come over here and let me out.
How many more times does she have to vaguely threaten you before you finally decide you're ready to deal with her?
The thing is we are getting a mismatch in paralanguage from her, which makes her a little suspicious.
We're clearly still figuring out our angle. We don't have the luxury of watching this from a distance.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think I'm in a position of luxury right now?
Yeah?
You're acting like you are.
The entire world is at risk.
Yeah, I guess so.
And maybe you should behave with a little more humility. A bit of self-deprecation would go a long way.
That's right.
I have my dignity. Fine, and will continue to treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated.
Like a liar. Look, I know that you're mad at me, but I think we just need to let bygones be bygones. What if we're both honest with each other? I was sent here to stop you from ending the world, and you killed me last time after coming back from being stabbed in the heart. I find myself looking for an ally. I think that's why I'm struggling to resonate with the voice of the cheated, because the cheated is invested in this being an antagonist. Everyone's an antagonist. Everyone's out to get me. It's like sort of the paranoid personality, right? No amount of evidence is going to persuade it that what it already believes is going to happen. The narrator has a one-track sort of mind. Like it's a little bit persuadable based on what we saw last time, but it took us a lot to get there. And either way, it still has a singular objective, which is to slay the princess, right? The hero is sort of stuck in the middle, and I am personally looking for anyone to be an ally here. Like, I don't feel safe. What if I just leave? Nobody has to die. Can I please appeal to, like, some sort of universal desire to survive here?
Of course not. At least not now, because you're here to save me. But you'll have to come close.
I think I've said my piece at this point.
I think we all have. But if you want to keep exhausting your questions, it beats getting stabbed to death.
Okay. I think yeah. I'm gonna ask this. What if we're both honest with each other?
That doesn't sound like me.
I'm sort of testing the theory if this is not the princess we saw before. She would have no knowledge of it.
Okay, I'm bored now.
Wait.
She's bored?
What?
That's absurd. She doesn't get to be bored. Not in a way that matters. She's a prisoner. Shit. In a sudden burst of movement, the princess leaps towards you, a blade erupting from her free arm, her wrist limp and empty from the violent expulsion. Huh. So I guess she did have a knife of her own after all.
Okay, I guess we're fucking cooked then.
How conciliatory of you. We appreciate it, really. Now what are we going to do?
At least we're safe here. She's still in chains.
Oh.
And those chains stop her from continuing her advance, at least for a moment.
Okay. We're at least on the same even odds now. I'm chained to whatever sort of miserable fate that I'm in, and you're chained to the wall.
She looks down at them with something between annoyance and confusion.
I mean, I don't think that she would have a very hard time just chopping that hand off.
And then,
no fucking way!
Through her arm.
Maybe I am a psychopath. Because I'm thinking exactly what she's thinking.
Okay, maybe we aren't safe. She doesn't even hesitate before darting towards you with a terrifying speed you can't hope to outpace.
We deserve this.
Ah, shit. Okay, she's down an arm and we still have a weapon. I guess we'll have to use it.
And use it you do. But unfortunately for you, and for the entire world, you are horribly outmatched.
Okay, what's gonna happen here?
You keep pace with her for a single brief and wordless exchange before she severs your hand and, with it, your only line of defense.
Can we just talk, please?
She's much better at this than she was last time.
Yeah, it's unreal. Bloody cheat.
She didn't even cheat.
I'm going to kill you now.
That's fine. That's fine.
And with a squelch, she does just that.
This is what we deserve.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 3, The Arms Race.
You're on a path in the woods.
No, fuck that. If we have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
Just more and more exasperated. Fucking get on with it.
What? The interior of the cabin is sharp, a constricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened? What did you just do?
Fuck it, yeah, we're going straight to destroy reality. Total chaos run.
I feel dizzy.
Oh, I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
So it's exactly like I said. When we have a confirmation bias, we tend to care more about being correct than anything else. And I feel like that's the voice of the cheated. Like, it doesn't care about getting out of this. It just cares about being in control and having one up on whoever, anyone. It doesn't matter.
The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
The voice of the hunted.
What's the point of fighting if she's just going to win every time? It hurts being sliced to pieces. We're better off just sitting up here and doing nothing.
Now the voice of the broken.
Great, so obviously you've already been here. How many times?
We're losing our mind.
This is our third? No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes and an entire world is damned to destruction.
So you admit it. You admit that this is not the first time.
That can't be right. That's too much responsibility. I couldn't agree more. We couldn't be trusted with the fate of a single person, let alone the fate of the world.
Oh my god, this is great.
Let's just stay focused, shall we? The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it. Okay, sure, you take the blade.
I didn't even get a choice this time.
It's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
I don't even know what to expect now.
That's right, we've got to be able to win eventually. And what if we never do?
It's a good question.
So, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to head to the basement like you're supposed to?
There is no basement, there's just a mirror.
I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there? You walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right?
I don't see a door.
There isn't a door, there's just that mirror.
That's right.
There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
You can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
This is kind of the voice that I was thinking of when the cheater appeared, is the more insecure, doubtful of itself, like kind of purely focused on fight or flight, like super nervous. But it's interesting that it didn't appear when I thought it would. It came a little later. And I'm still looking for the voice of, like, I mean, I guess the broken is kind of that, like, just totally disaffected. Like, I guess none of what we do matters, but maybe we'll find that after we get through this, because I don't expect this to work out. I mean, look at the fucking cabin. It's totally messed up. I guess we go to the mirror.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it.
Okay.
Let's just move it out of the way without looking. I don't want to see us. I'm sure we all look awful after dying twice. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
Yeah. It's interesting. The voice of the cheated has just taken command here. The more we invested in making our own choices, the more we actually surrendered to the toxic confirmation bias, like, I feel misled and cheated and everything around me is unjust. And we've actually surrendered all of our decision-making power to the part of us that feels like it's not fair and nothing's fair, which has actually limited our range of choice, interestingly enough. Swipe the mirror.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open. And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
But I think the voice of the cheated, I don't think it lasts another run after this one. It's so dysfunctional. And unfortunately, this is when a relationship has, not even a relationship, people just develop this sensibility, right? Where everything is out to get them. It's very hard to claw yourself back to, like, seeing the good in people and that sort of thing. And we'll talk about why. I have a specific interpretation of kind of where all of these voices are coming from right now, but let's get to the end of this, or let's just progress a little bit.
It was never there. Just an illusion. Guess it's time for us to see her again. Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the base of the stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic, an unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
Can I just get like a normal princess that I can just have like a pleasant conversation with, please?
Your body tumbles onto the basement
fuck.
floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Hi, it looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore.
Oh, we're fucking cooked now.
But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Okay, it's interesting that she brings up fun. I am going to do this now, actually, because this is super relevant. So, this is actually going to bring into context, like, basically every choice that we've made until now. So, there's actually a perspective in psychology called choice theory. Okay. Now, as you'll see if you're new to this channel, I like to bring in all kinds of perspectives in psychology. Some I actually use and consider a part of my like therapeutic approach, and some I don't. Like this one is more interesting from a theoretical point of view rather than something I actually apply super often in therapy. But it is something that I think about sometimes. Choice theory, which is very relevant to Slay the Princess, a game about choice, says that there are basically 5 categories of human needs. Okay, there's survival, there's love and belonging, there's power or meaning, freedom, and fun. So, choice theory says that we make decisions based on these needs in a hierarchical order, meaning that we start with survival. This is the main priority. And when we feel like our survival is not in question, we can sort of focus more on decisions that meet these other needs, right, in that sort of order. However, people have complex lives, and our decision making is not usually that clear. We can actually consider some disorders as being the wrong calibration of these needs. For example, addiction convinces us that having this substance in our body is basically our survival. Like, we have to have it. And in some cases, yeah, if you're withdrawing from a drug, like, it is about survival, right? But we'll usually kind of stop caring about all these other needs because survival is at the top of the ticket and our body has become dependent on this thing. In the case of something like an eating disorder, sometimes that comes out of, I'm not able to manifest control on these external factors, so I turn internal. I can't control my life, but what I can control is my diet. I can restrict my eating. I can change my mood based on that. I can change my appearance, right? So power and the ability to like control yourself actually gets taken over survival, right? We literally develop self-harming behaviors in the pursuit of being able to regulate ourselves. Self-harm is the same way, right? So think about the voices that we've run into so far. At the beginning of the story, we weren't really that considerate about survival. We weren't even bought into the idea that the world would end, right? We were kind of interested in developing some sort of connection with the princess. But at the same time, we started to question whether our freedom, like our power to make our own decisions and our control over the situation, were actually intact. So we became skeptical. We became doubtful of that. At that point, we were so concerned about freedom that this jumped the line and survival was like off the table. We're like, yeah, fuck it. We won't die if we, touch the chain or whatever. Like, we didn't care. And that didn't really work out, right? So our decision-making became highly impaired. And at that point, we developed the voice of the cheated. The cheated is completely focused on being in control. This matters more than anything else, right? At that point, to the effect that it was totally compromised about like putting itself in danger. You know, it thought it had full confidence to just go slay the princess, and it has no interest in building a relationship with the narrator or the princess. It doesn't even care about its own freedom. It just wants this to be over, right? But now we have the voice of the broken and the voice of the hunted. The voice of the hunted, it's almost like these have sort of splintered out into their own like independent needs that are all sort of like fighting against each other. Like there's no hierarchy. It's just chaos. Hunted is like, we're gonna fucking die. Like, get the fucking knife out. She's gonna kill us, right? Cheated only really cares about like, you know, taking control of the situation and being in charge. I feel like the voice of the broken kind of lives here, where, you know, it's really disheartened by the idea that we couldn't have been a better hero or whatever, and feels a little bit of this like nothing matters. The Razor is living purely in these two dimensions, right? It doesn't really care about getting free. It doesn't seem like that's really a priority. It wants to fucking kill us, like, and it thinks that that's fun. And you can see like the effect that this has on our psychology when these needs get like messed up and the hierarchy is displaced, right? Part of that has to do with the more stress we have, the less emotional range we have. So you can also think about, we have a range where we have access to a wide variety of emotions, right? Empathy, sadness, happiness, excitement, joy, anger, depression, disappointment, elation. Like, you have a full range of emotion. But when this starts getting messed up and we start getting confused about what's important or stressed, our emotional range starts to get limited, right? And suddenly, some of these harder to access emotions are now out on the fringe, and we can't even access them anymore. I'm actually not able to access the kind of self-empathy that I need to prioritize survival over control, right? And I can develop that eating disorder. I can develop that self-harming behavior. I'm no longer able to assess like my sense of fun healthily, so I end up getting it through self-destructive means like addiction. In a severe case, like let's say we're the princess and we are right now, our emotional range has limited to basically just the fight or flight response. And the only two emotions we have access to right now are like anger and fear, right? We no longer have any decision-making ability that taps into empathy or taps into like, consideration for the consequences. Like, we are purely animalistic at this point, fight or flight. And for the princess, it's, it's kind of these two as well. The thing is we still have the same needs here, here, and here. When I have my full emotional range, the way that I will try to get these needs met can vary. I might get fun through, an exciting experience. Excitement lives here, right? I might get love and belonging through, a deep conversation, through empathy. It lives out here. When I don't have my full emotional range, but I still need these needs met, I still need to have fun in my life. Well, guess what emotions I'm only going to be able to access to get that? Whatever's within that limited range. So it becomes fun to me to fuck shit up, to start instigating, to start causing problems or to threaten people or whatever. I still have the same 5 psychological needs here that I have here, but my emotional range has limited to only be able to access the things that convince me that this is about survival. And so where do I end up? I end up with a fucking psychotic desire to kill, and this is fun now. Or the only thing that I can do is perceive everything as a threat, which is kind of manifested in this fucking twisted thorn labyrinth of a dungeon or a house or wherever the fuck we are. So let's see where we go from here.
Fun for her, maybe. I didn't like dying all over again.
Yes, the voice of the broken cannot conceive of the idea of fun, like, with such a limited emotional range, right? It's only able to experience, like, the emotions of fear at this point.
Thinking about dying makes us as good as dead. The only thing that matters is survival.
Yeah! Hunted only cares about survival. Its emotional range is limited to purely focus on that. Whereas, like, the cheated, I don't think gives a fuck about survival. Like, its only concern is, like, fucking winning this.
Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once.
Yes! I fucking knew it!
Nothing bad has come of it yet.
The voice of the hero, though, is still somewhere, like... It's still somewhere in the middle. So how the fuck do we get out of this? Okay, and here's your free therapy lesson for the day. So I know that that's actually some of the enjoyment of this channel is getting a little bit of therapy. It's very hard to operate like this. You end up developing all kinds of weird behaviors and your hierarchy's all fucked and you develop self-destructive habits and whatever else, right? We need to expand the emotional range. And that can be a long process. Accessing emotions that, you know, depression can look like this, where we no longer have the ability to get a sense of love and belonging because we don't feel like any of our relationships matter or we don't have any. We don't feel empowered by, you know, the conditions of our life. We feel like things don't have meaning. We feel stuck. Nothing is fun. Does survival even matter, right? It might even put us to a really dark place then. The work of therapy is to start expanding that emotional range again, right? To just start trying to find whatever's been in the fringe of that. And you actually get a little bit of emotional range back for free if you consider the sort of HALT acronym, which stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired, right? If you're hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, you're going to have a really narrow emotional range, and you're going to try to get these needs met by really terrible means. But if you feed yourself, if you put some physical distance from whatever's making you mad, have a conversation with someone, you know, get some dopamine, some endorphins going, and rest, your emotional range will expand slightly just for free, right? So it is important that you address these immediate, like, sort of homeostasis needs to expand that emotional range. Then you have a little bit more and you can start doing more, like, long-term work on yourself to, like, get more in touch with your harder to access emotions like empathy and excitement and accomplishment, right? Accomplishment is not in the fucking equation here. Like, we don't care. Nothing matters. Nothing I do is good, right? Like, that's how we feel when we're here. So we need to expand our emotional range yet, which means we need to get rid of the fucking cheated voice. Like, it's so bad for us that it's in control right now.
Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered. The past isn't real. There's only here and now.
Can't even think of, like, any other needs but survival. There's only the here and now. This is basically like, yeah, only the emotions I have right now are real. Consequences don't exist in the realm of fight or flight.
Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing meat.
It's so fucked.
Arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor.
I so hate this. I literally just want to, like... I thought this was supposed to be a love story. Are we supposed to fall in love? I need love and belonging in my life. I don't need this. This is fucked beyond belief.
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
Please put me out of my misery at this point.
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
I guess.
Shit. She's coming for us, and I'm out of ideas.
Oh, now you're out of ideas? Yeah, you're the one who's fucking driving this train. We're fighting her, obviously. We're going to appeal to her authority. Puff her up a bit. There's no reason we can't talk this out. I'll try flirting with her. The thing is she has a very limited emotional range too, which means we do need to appeal to the only things that she is accessing right now, which are survival and fun, probably, right? She wins by killing us, right? So let's beat her to it. Holy shit, we can... Can I do that? I need to detoxify myself of like the fractured split of the hunted, broken, cheated. Maybe this is the way out. This is so fucked that the actual solution is killing myself. I don't like the headspace that this puts me in. Okay. We can't fight her. We won't win. The hunted is actually not competent, despite it caring about survival. This isn't fucking gonna work. I don't think that this would work either. Although I can't say I don't love crazy. We're panicking. I mean, this is the most interesting one to me. What if I just... I gotta appeal to my own need for control here. To sort of like detoxify myself. Maybe I can get more emotional range out of... I gotta reset somehow. We've got to expand the emotional range. Let's beat her to it. This has got to be fucking wild.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Is it though?
We're dead either way.
We are dead either way.
Screw it, we've already died twice. What's a third? A third is a third. It's bad.
This has got to reset us.
Who cares? Fine. You raise your blade above your head.
Okay.
Oh, this is new. What are you going to do? Are you really going to stab yourself? Neat.
I guess.
Then you skewer yourself.
What have I done?
Ow. Are we still here? Can we not actually off ourselves? Boo! Huh. That didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought.
The voice of the contrarian. God damn it! Why can I not just... I need to get out of here. I don't want more of these fucked up voices.
Oh, a new one of us.
Oh my god! I'm so exasperated. I'm exhausted.
I thought that only happens when we die. Did we die?
Get me out.
We'd know if we died.
I'm going insane.
Right? You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I don't know.
I think we're dead. And that's all we'll ever be. Dead, 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 dead.
Stop saying dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead.
Just something. And this, I want to start over. Can I go back to the forest, please?
This is all horribly wrong. How many times have you been here?
This is 4.
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
She's just enjoying this way too much.
But I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances. Okay, whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stand.
No.
There's got to be a point where it makes us better than...
No, I want less. I want less of you.
As long as we keep moving.
Oh, great. So it's going to get even more crowded. Even more deluded voices that think we might stand any kind of
I'm
chance.
going insane.
Who cares about getting better than her? Let's do something weird. Like, really, really weird.
This is so dysfunctional. We're at the point where we feel like basically none of these needs can be met by our circumstances. So we're just acting completely chaotically now. I think we've broke ourselves and we've now put fun at the top of the line, just like the Razor has. Like, we're just matching her energy. Let's just do something weird. Like, that'll be interesting.
Come on, show me something new.
Fuck it, let's do it. I'm gonna try flirting with her. If nothing else, we can just love crazy. Oh. It doesn't work. She kills you again and again and again and again. Your memory blurs as your consciousness leaps from life to life to life, holding only snippets of the conflict that transpires.
Compliment her on those gleaming blades. There's nothing better than a capable woman. She skewers you.
You're cute.
That makes me feel weird.
Well, there's more of us. Let's see if that helps.
No, I don't want more. What am I doing here?
We just have to hit her harder.
Stop this.
She skewers you.
You'll have to be trickier than that.
What's next?
Just panic. Flee. Skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
Do you see that? We almost had her.
No, we are not.
That was luck. But we only have to get lucky once.
This isn't working.
She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels.
There's the disaffected. I knew I could draw it out. What is actually wrong with me? I'm supposed to be a mental health professional. This is was not supposed to be the most fucking chaotic run of this ever. Maybe this is how I operate though. I'll I'll draw out all the voices so that we can just get a clean, even look of them and psychoanalyze each one.
She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
I think I know too much. I know too much about like how fucked up people are deep down.
It doesn't matter how many times this takes, we can't give up. Okay, let's go again.
Where's the voice of the exhausted?
Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason.
I like this one.
She skewers you. See? We're getting better.
No, we're not.
Okay, yeah. That was a good one. None of this is working.
Oh, fuck. He's back.
Think. Skewers you.
I'm exhausted.
Close to something, can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time, that's all we need.
This time for sure, right?
And then everything goes dark, and you die.
Mutually assured destruction. Please be a forest. Please be a forest.
Don't lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from here.
No! I'm not. Can I please go back?
Everything feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good.
It's not.
And our steel claw is already in our hands.
What is actually happening? I'm like seriously panicking.
What if we throw it out the window? Over my dead body.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
We're insane. We're insane now. We're just insane. We're insane.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than the hands of a beautiful woman?
Is this the love story that they were talking about? Just getting fucking stepped on over and over again? I told you that this would involve degeneracy.
Sure, I can think of a better way to die. They're all the same, really. How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything.
I wonder if she's going to be any different.
The only thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top.
I don't even care about winning anymore. I just want to be, like, safe now. Please, please, please.
There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here?
Too many.
Good.
No.
How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing them?
Someone get me out. One of you fucking do something to get me out.
Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time.
Didn't the narrator fucking take control that one time and make me, like, take action? Where's that energy? Narrator, please, step in. You've got to end this.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover.
He's got to put a stop to this.
Fine by me. You walk to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know.
Even the hero's, like, no longer even just, like, a normal person. Like, it's completely fucked.
Fine, I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along.
Please.
Are you sure you don't want me to describe the stairs? Or this room?
This is brilliant, by the way.
It feels like I'm hardly a part of this.
This is so brilliant.
Don't care, just want to win. Fine, you make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
Not gonna lie. She is kind of hot, though.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again? I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together. But I guess we're not done. That's okay with me. It's good even. I like that.
I don't like that I like that.
I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you.
That's fine.
Worth it, though. Just you wait. And not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
That's fine.
Are you gonna say what she does? Do you want me to talk now?
The narrator's just given up.
Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too.
Oh my god, they're so delusional now.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing.
Yeah, that's right, narrator. Do something.
Really? Okay then.
What she got?
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms of raw meat as it stretches and tears. And then it erupts.
What have I fucking done?
Comes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls. All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
I'm gonna need to like have a fucking post-mortem of this episode of where things went wrong.
Are you ready for what comes next?
No.
Holy shit! She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine.
Holy shit.
Yes. The perfect.
That's incredible.
Do you think we can throw her out the window? That looked painful.
There's just no way that we end up back in a forest after this. Like, remember how I said I'm playing this from the perspective of like continuous character? Like, we were the hero, then the skeptic, and we remember every voice we've had. Like, the character that we are, I mean, let's just be real. Me as well, probably you watching this, is developing fucking trauma from this. Is developing like serious self-esteem, self-confidence issues about what it has done to us, ourselves, to the princess. Like, we've fucking created this horror. Like, imagine the fucking guilt and shame and weird kind of stuff. We're gonna need lots and lots of therapy to expand our emotional range back to anything normal. I guess it's only appropriate that I've gone for the most fucked up playthrough possible so that I have the most material to to talk about why therapy can solve all these problems.
How is she still alive? Heart's still beating, that's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up.
Yeah. Defend that narrative, dude. Like, I think we're gonna need to convince ourselves that none of this was real. Otherwise, we're totally fucked.
She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
All right, I submit.
This
All right,
is all
sir.
just
Forget. All right, sir. Forget. All right, sir.
Please be over.
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Please be over.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
You do not act. And yet through that inaction, your body moves on its own. The princess strikes you as you approach. But as her blow finishes its arc, you're already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
I'm a mess. Your weapons clash again and again. You and her entering a rhythm free of thought and free of self. There is only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of tides back and forth between you. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster the momentum volleys between you. An endlessly building crescendo, and then an opening! Your blade strikes free of volition, and hers strikes too. Oh, shit! Both strikes are lethal. Neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear what's to come. This is a good ending. Is it though? You do not get to see each other die, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. Approach the mirror. You do so. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach towards the glass. It's time for you to see what's in it. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Who am I anymore? You were at the cabin.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
I'm sorry for making you this way. Like, I feel so much guilt to myself and to the princess. I made her this. I did this. And I lost my fucking mind in the process. Nothing feels like it was gained.
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
And at the same time, I know that this story has to keep going. And I know from working in this field that when things seem really, really bad, that's when you have to fight the hardest to see the good in yourself and see what you're capable of again. So I guess we have to keep going, and we have to find a way to process this and to make some kind of meaning of this experience. You cannot change what happens to you, but you can always change what it means to you. And that's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to take in what we've seen and what we've experienced, and We can't go back. We can't make better decisions, but we have to find a way for it to make some kind of meaning that leads us to make the right choice, if that even exists in this twisted reality. You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you. I do feel some kind of like connection to whatever this is sort of, it's dispossessed of the fucking horrible things that we're sending it. I don't know if it has good intentions or not, but to me it doesn't seem like it wants to destroy us. So maybe I feel thankful towards it.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Every time we give this entity a new perspective, its ability to make sense and meaning out of all of these experiences grows. And that's how we develop as people, which is something I think we're going to need a lot of healing in as well. What does it feel like to change like this? We're scared. I'm scared of the harm we've fucking done to ourselves in this.
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you. I don't think that's true. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel? I feel like we're losing so much confidence in ourselves after seeing like how chaotic it gets when we are unsure of ourselves, that any sort of voice will try to jump in and make sense in its very limited, narrow-minded way, and tries to be so definitive about it. Like the opportunist, it's all about taking advantage. The cheated, it's all about winning. The hunted, it's all about survival. The smitten, it's all about lust, right? Like every single one of these voices comes in with such certainty about what the priority is, that listening to that, it feels like there's so much competition in the mental state that we're in as a person. The main thing that we desire right now is a quiet mind. And I'm curious if the vessel can give us some advice about that. What do you feel about me? These vessels I'm bringing you, I've hurt them.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me.
So you don't blame me for creating this. You're not mad at me, but I am mad at myself.
The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before.
So she's basically saying that without these perspectives, she's nothing. With them, though they are harmful, there is more of her. They are texture. And this is actually something very important when I do processing with people who have traumas, or maybe have done things that they regret, is we try to find neutral language to describe these things. And I really like this word texture, right? For example, you know, saying when you live with the narrative that like, oh, this loss is devastating, this grief I have is so painful, it reinforces the negative storyline around that experience, when we want to move towards more neutral but still accurate language, right? And so a lot of people who I've worked with who are in some sort of grief, I try to work with them on developing a perspective around death as something meaningful, or pain as meaningful, because meaning just means that it had a very strong impact on you, that it changed you in a great way. We're not making a judgment about whether that change is good or bad or whether it was deserved. We are just saying and accepting that this was meaningful pain to experience. This was a meaningful loss to experience. And it distances us from learning the wrong lesson, which is to judge ourselves unfairly for the problems we have and the negative feelings we have from them. So I really like that she's associating wounds as texture around her heart, because she's basically just saying that these are meaningful experiences. I'm not making a judgment about whether or not they were good or bad or you were wrong to do them. They just are.
I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
And in a sense, maybe what we're seeing is this character's emotional range expanding from a place where, with only one perspective, it's sort of just taking shape. And every time we do something, that emotional range expands a little more. And that's not to say that the emotion we put in there is good. It could be quite devastating or harmful or traumatic. But at some point, we will have expanded this entity's emotional range to include many perspectives. Some good, some bad, but also complete. How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them.
That's hauntingly beautiful.
My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Maybe this isn't a love story about falling in love with the princess, but whatever's taking shape from what we're creating here. Because whatever we're creating, it is unique. And maybe that meaning that I'm looking for, that I'm horrified by the experiences I've had, is that only through having them, I am creating something that is getting closer and closer to feeling complete in itself. And I find less shame in that than looking very one-dimensionally at the actions I've taken and the the fear I have about them. So you don't have any preference on how you'd like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
Okay. When all this is done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed.
Again, very neutral language, right? I will be different. It's not saying I'm going to grow up into something amazing or I'm going to get worse. Like, it's just recognizing the reality, acceptance of when I have a new perspective, I will be different. When I have them, I will change. Like, we're not trying to make a lot of emotional assessment about whether those changes will be good or bad. They just will be. And that's kind of complex as far as a meaning to life question, right? Change is meaningful, whether it's good or bad.
But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel? Because it's fucking crazy.
This one is a single-minded edge. She is cruelty, but she is also joy. She will make for a piercing heart.
Yeah, I think this is my theory on the game's, one of its messages. There's many messages, but maybe what we are looking at is we're in the process of expanding this entity's emotional range. And sometimes it's going to include like the fight or flight stuff, the really narrow fear and anger. Sometimes it's going to be, you know, something empathetic. Sometimes it's going to be a little disaffected, like we saw with the prisoner. But eventually it will include all of them. And in your life, you're going to experience some variant of all of these things. Hopefully not as extreme, but some sort of facsimile of them. And we're sort of building that out in real time with the choices we make.
Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be.
I still feel sorry. I'm so sorry. I fucking did this. But your forgiveness is meaningful. Okay, I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Shit. I should have remembered that I was there. Everything goes dark and you die. Oh, thank fuck. Thank fuck.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Thank goodness. I was really unsure if we had just totally fucked this playthrough. We get another chance. Okay. That's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Next time we'll try for something better. Always something better. Thank you for watching. I hope you look forward to the next one. I'll see you next time.